Welcome to Good as Gold, the podcast where we share how Olympic dreams are actually human stories. I'm Sarah Hughes, Olympic champion in figure skating 2002 Salt Lake City, and your host for this journey behind the medal.
Right. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Thank you for being so patient with me. I can't believe how, yeah. I am not a techie. That's for sure.
Well, I think we're good now. I think it's working.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for making the time this afternoon to do this. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
What are you doing to celebrate 50 years since the Innsbruck Games?
Wow. I'm doing a lot. So my whole family, kids, grandkids, everybody's going to be going to Innsbruck, Austria on about the same dates that I had my Olympic medals. And so we're going there for dual purpose because it was my 50th anniversary, but plus my kids like to ski and my husband likes cross-country ski. And so we're going to be staying there and doing all those fun activities. And then my husband and I are going to go to Milan. And then we're invited by U.S. Speed Skating to attend some of the events of this, of course, my event, 500 meters. And then, so I plan on attending that. And yeah, that's my celebration. 19 years. I can't believe it's still my death.
How do you pick 500 meters as your event when you have 500, 1,000, 1,500?
Oh, well, because I always thought that I was just a sprinter, pure sprinter. But my coach, he had me do a muscle biopsy and found out that I was middle distance. So he said, well, you should, try these other distances. So I tried the 1,500 was my first event. And I did really good in that. But my specialty was the 500.
I was looking at the 76 Olympics, and it said that the 500 meter was actually your second race, and you had injured your foot, or you had sprained a tendon.
Oh,
you weren't at 100% health going into 500 meter, and then you still set a record.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think earlier in the season, I had the arches, and I had a fallen arch. But it didn't really bother me when I was skating. So the 1,500 meters, the first one, and doing so well in that, it was really my an icebreaker for the Olympics. So that I wasn't quite as nervous, like just having my favorite event be the first event. So yeah, it was earlier in the season though. So I don't know what you heard, but during the Olympics, I was in very good top condition. The week before, so I broke a world record. And so I was, I was ready. But after the 500 meters, I was, not maybe feeling that great. And then after my last medal, the bronze medal in the 1,000 meters, I got the flu. So it was just kind of like I just lucked out. And the flu was going around in the village and stuff. But I lucked out that I made it through my 3 events without any, issues with steel.
So sicknesses in the village or illnesses have been long-standing at the games then.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was competing, that was a big concern. If you're in the village, you might get sick.
Right. Well, we stayed there, but you can't help it. You just kind of, you don't think about it really.
I mean, the Olympics were a lot smaller in 76 compared to now. I was looking at the numbers and I think, what was it? In Innsbruck, there were, I'll tell you how many, because I was looking Innsbruck versus now. So Innsbruck had 1,123 competitors. Beijing had over 2,900.
This is because of the added disciplines. Even in speed skating, they added different, there's the speed skating, but then there's the pursuit, there's the relay, or not relay, there's, what do you call it? Can't think of it. They added different events in each sport. So that's why there are more competitors.
So I like to ask the people that I've chatted with, in the beginning, when the last time they wore their Olympic gold medal was. Do you remember?
No. I don't remember ever having it on. Maybe, no, I can't even think of it. It's been so many years. Other people have had my medals on. But when they come over, they're like, oh, can I put time in? Oh, sure. Yeah, and I've had a lot of times when I've had to bring my medals out, but I've never been asked to put my medals on. I just don't would feel funny.
Your daughter, who was actually a teammate of mine at the O2 games, said that you used to bring them to kids and that it got worn or like the tarnish started wearing off.
Yes.
She said they used to bring it to her school for show and tell and the gold rubbed off because it was gold plated. And so is it still like rubbed off or were you able to?
Well, it's not, but you can see it's had better. I've seen better days. But each Olympics has, they have to have so much gold in the gold medal and silver and bronze. They have their standards. And so my medal was a silver core with the gold plated. And so, after so long of people touching it and I love to have people hold it because it's really heavy. But then it starts wearing off a little bit, but I'm done. Yeah. It's nice to be able to share that. My medals, to be able to show people, tell the stories about the Olympic medals and, what they mean.
Did you have different preparations for each of your races? Like for the different distances?
Well, like I said, my coach figured out through this my muscle biopsy that I was middle distance. Should be middle. And so my training did change. So when I thought I was just a pure 500 meters and maybe 1,000, he changed my training program so that I was doing more longer events, longer. We did a lot of running in the summer. I did bike racing in the summer, and then in September I'd start to run, do kind of like track and field workouts. And so he definitely changed, and we refocused on more of the middle distances. But the 500 meters still, I love it because it's so fast.
But when you got to the track, or what did you call it? I used to call it the oval.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we always just call it the rink, which I'm guessing.
Yeah, skating rink, yeah.
So when you get there before competition, you warm up, do you do anything special?
They kind of warm up, do this pretty much same warm up. And I'm sure with figure skating that you did the same, preparation before, maybe for you it's different because if you have the short program, you might warm up a little different than what. But for us, it's basically the same warm-up, except for maybe you would do a little bit quicker starts if it was for the 500 meters and 1,000 meters, and then more longer tempo things before your race for the 15 and 1,000.
Yeah, for figure skating, we actually, when we get to the rink for the actual competition, people warm up, and then there's a 6-minute warm-up with several other people. Yeah. And then a few skaters skate, and then they have another warm up for the next group. So we get our feet on the ice a little bit before we skate, but people usually have superstitions that they do either before this 6-minute warm up or before they go out for their program. Do speed skaters do that too?
Oh yeah. But for us though, you're warming up. It's not like you're where you have to get off the ice. Unless you're one of the last pairs, you warm up and then pretty much they resurface the ice and then, you do a couple more laps warm up. But superstition, I was superstitious. I guess. So if I had, you have to disrobe, so you have to take your jacket off and your warm up pants off. And I always used to put my warm up pants ahead of my competitors. So if they put theirs down, I would go blind, and that was the only real superstition I had. Although, my kids will tell you, I find 4-leaf clovers. That's another thing. I've had so many, and I think in cycling, before one of my main competitions, my world championships, I found a 6-leaf clover. It wasn't putting two together. It was just actually 6 leaves, and we were like, okay, this is it. I'm the luckiest person. You have to have a little bit of luck, though, don't you think?
And you have to have a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that could happen.
Yeah, you never know. But somebody said, I think it was a golfer said, the harder I train, the luckier I get. Something like that.
Yeah, your body doesn't forget the hard work too.
Right.
I was watching some speed skating yesterday on YouTube, and the races. I forgot how much I enjoyed watching it because it's such a beautiful sport.
No, yeah. It's my sister tried teaching me ballet when I was little, and I was not graceful. But on the ice, I think I would have loved to have been a figure skater. I had back my first speed skate competitions. I was on figure skates. I've got the cute little white figures. But the thing is I wasn't very graceful. But on speed skates, and when I'm training, I can somewhat feel graceful.
Did you start figure skating?
Not really, no. I mean, I didn't have lessons or anything. My parents, they were pushing me to be in speed skating because the whole family, all my two brothers and my sister, they all speed skated. I was the last one, even though I was the second child, and to start actually competition.
How did you get into speed skating then? The competition. So you said your siblings skated.
Yeah, my parents bribed me. They said, well, back in the day, having your own little portable TV was like a big thing. And so they said, oh yeah, if you feel raced, instead of just dragging me along to the competitions and stuff, they wanted me to get involved. And that was the bribe. And then, but I didn't go for it. So then the next year I decided, okay, I'll do it, and they go, oh, well, that was last year, so they forget the TV now. Yeah, but it was, it was a family affair. My dad used to do speed skating for his bike racing. And so he was doing both sports year round, and the kid, we were, I'm going to the rink. You want to come, and then get in the car. But so we weren't really pressured. I kind of felt pressured a little, but once I got into the sport, it was so much fun. And I don't know about for figure skating, but no, in speed skating, when you have pack style speed skating, you have little time to chit chat with other kids before you had to go to the starting line. And that's where I met friends and from all over, the state of Michigan. And then when I traveled to other states, it was kind of like my draw. I wanted to travel, and it kept going on and on until I got to be able to travel to Europe. And so,
was speed skating really popular in Detroit when you were growing up?
No. In fact, I didn't want anybody to know that I skated because my skates were black. I mean, eventually I got regular speed skates, and it was kind of like that. That would be like a tomboy. And back in my day, girls were supposed to have white figure skates and be graceful and just skate. But speed skate is totally different. So I kind of kept it secret. Didn't want anybody to know, and then eventually when I got better, then, okay, I didn't care because I had my goals and stuff. But I was sitting in my class, I can remember in third grade or something. And looking at my friends around me. And I thought, you guys don't know, that I'm going to be going to, Petoskey, Michigan this weekend for a race. It was like the secret life of Sheila.
How old were you when you started entering competitions?
About 8 years old.
Okay, so it was about that time then.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably also in elementary school, you feel shy about some things.
Yeah. Well, I was really shy. Yeah. I would be the one standing behind my mom, and go into a room with other people I didn't know. Yeah. But I think sports, too, you're kind of forced into situations where, you can't be shy. You just have to do it.
Did you get nervous before competitions at that age, or were you just super confident?
No, it was more just fun. Because I didn't know how I would do it. In fact, I used to get I was lucky I got third or, fourth, didn't fall. That was a big thing. It was not to fall. And then my dad gave me a goal of if I won the state championships, that I would get some special skates, these plattered speed skates. And so, and I beat this girl that I never, but then I started getting not really nervous, but, wanting something, wanting something bad enough that, it was, not nerves. It was more just a goal. He helped me to set my first goal, that winning that championships.
So you won?
Yeah, I did.
When did you get your personal TV?
Oh, I never got it. Never got it. That was, as an adult, I probably got for CDs. No, forget that. No, the skates became the goal then.
When did you become really serious about speed skating where you realized, I can be an elite, world-class skater?
I know exactly. It was when I was 13 and I won some competition or whatever. And I told whoever reporter, whatever, I said that I wanted to be on the Olympic team someday. And it took me a long time, but not like you as how many, you were 15 or?
I was 16.
16? Yeah. No. Well, I had teammates that were 16. I was like old person at 21, my first Olympics.
So were there a lot of reporters covering these races or the local races in Michigan?
No. But we had one guy from the Detroit News that he knew our family. And I think that's probably the person I was thinking of that wrote the article.
Well, then I was looking at your career and you were actually pretty good, pretty young. I mean, you were the junior champion. And then when you made your first Olympics in Sapporo, you missed the bronze medal by fractions of a second. Which was crazy. Because thinking about that, I'm just like,
it was way disappointing. Listen, I'll tell you what happened. So
it was 8/100ths of a second.
8/100ths of a second. So the last pair, I was in third place, bronze medal. I thought, I just wanted an Olympic medal would have been great. And the last pair, Vera Krasnova, she starts the race and she had like the fastest opener. So they give you a split time for 100 meters. And then it's just, you race the rest of the race until the finish. And at 100 meters, she had 10.8. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's really fast. Like she's going to beat me. And sure enough, I kept thinking to myself, slow down. And she didn't slow down and she beat me by 8/100ths of a second. She got the bronze medal. But my roommates, Ann Henning and Diane Hullum, both won gold medals in that Olympics. Looking at that medal and looking at the other medals, I was thinking, I think I'll stick it another 4 years. So that gave me incentive. I mean, being that close and plus my coach said, when you're training with me, you'll be number one. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll try it.
Is that when you took up track cycling in the summer?
I did. I'm trying to say, yes. I think 72 was the first track nationals that I went to. And and that was it was a really good thing because it was something that I wasn't thinking speed skating. It really kept me in good shape and it was fun, different people. But it was really a good thing to have two different things that I had goals for. And and between cycling and then, as I said, in September, I get off the bike and start my kind of track and field type and skating invitations until we got on ice in like October, November.
I mean, there were 2 years where you were the world champion in both speed skating and in track cycling. But then track cycling didn't get introduced into the Olympics till 1988.
Right. I missed the boat.
Did you think about going back?
Oh, no. That way too late. A couple of kids later, no. But no, it was a good experience. And I think that maybe having women in U.S. that were really good at cycling, that the U.S. Cycling Federation or whatever helped to promote women's sport, having women's event in the World Championships and the Olympic Games.
So track cycling was just more of or like you first went into it as just a hobby?
Well, not really. To keep in shape for speed skating. But it really, like when you do it, it's thrilling. It's, so it's totally different from speed skating. Speed skating, you're racing against the clock. And it's just you, no excuses, I think it's one of the most purest sports is in that long track speed skating. And then cycling, the event that I did was map spreading. So it's you against the other person and using your tactics and your skills and your, tactics and how to win that person, to beat that person first one across the line in the, whatever, it was 1,000-meter match sprint. But Yeah, it was totally different. So it became exciting. So it was different. So I wasn't even thinking about speed skating when I was doing cycling. It was more the thrill of racing in like head-to-head competition.
I was looking up track cycling, and it said in 73, you became the first American to win an international cycling event in more than 50 years. But there was a lot of drama because you crashed twice. And then it said that you had injuries that should have knocked you out of the race, but you still won. Was this just because you're so competitive that you're just like, nothing's going to stop me?
Well, I think you get the adrenaline going, and having the support around you too. I mean, just having people that are, put you back on the bike, get back on, you're gonna this. Yeah, it's 73. It was, I crashed. I was racing against a Czechoslovakian rider, and she kind of came up into my lead, and boom, 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 and then you couldn't do stitches, but I had a cut in my head. And so this Dutch doctor that was there with his team, he came and he said, "Here, I'll take care of you. He put 2 staples in my head." And I'm like, yikes, okay, no more. But anyway, then they made me, I had to get back on the starting line. If I didn't get back on the starting line, then I would have forfeited her. And so I got on the starting line and I raced. And I think, if you get your adrenaline going, I think when you have an injury or something, there's something chemically in your body that maybe, helps you to overcome whatever, injuries you have.
What happened after you finished? Did you feel okay? But did it take you a while to recover?
Yeah, no, it did. No, I was good. I was pretty good. When I won, it was like, it made up for any, I didn't even think about any, my head injury or anything like that.
I mean, when I was first thinking, speed skating, cycling, like that's good cross training, different times of the year. But now I'm hearing your story and I'm like, you're the, a top speed skater in the world. Now you're injuring yourself or having these serious injuries from cycling.
Well, yeah. It wasn't that serious. Hitting your head is pretty bad. In fact, I'm wondering, I probably had a concussion or something. But no, I think, that's why speed skating is much safer. Although I did fall in speed skating one time in the World Championships, and that was a lot easier than falling on bikes, but nonetheless, heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh, when I watch the speed skaters crash, I guess I get so scared and worried.
I know. That's short track speed skating. You don't really crash at all on long track speed skating.
No, I guess not. Although, all of America have watched Dan Jansen. I guess not crash, but like fall. Yeah. That also did look so. It didn't look comfortable.
No, you're right. That was very heartbreaking watching his race, but he overcame, and years later, then.
What an amazing story, too. I mean, how close are the speed skaters? I actually want to ask you about Innsbruck a little more because, the Olympics have grown to such a huge global phenomenon.
Yeah.
But in Innsbruck, it's, for the U.S. team, there were only 30 women on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys feel closer with Team USA more separated by sports? Or did you socialize as a whole team?
No, it was pretty much separated by sport. I mean, I actually was at 72. I was 76. I met Rosie Mittermeier, and she was a skier. Anyway, I don't think I met anything. Dorothy Hamlin was my Olympics for figure skating, but we never saw any of the figure skaters. Speed skaters kind of had their, you have your training routines and stuff, and when you're going to go to the rink, and there was a cafeteria that you might have seen somebody like, oh, look, there's. But no, we had 5 girls on our team, and we were not really we didn't all hang out together, and it was definitely yeah, I think just speed skating and our teammates for like boys were very supportive of us, in racing. So and training, we had to warm up behind them, and yeah.
Team USA only won 3 gold medals. I say only.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like compared to, today's Olympics, they won 3 gold medals. One of them was you, one of them was Dorothy, another one was another speed skater.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to see Dorothy compete, but I texted her the other day and I told her I was going to talk to you because she had reached out and had said like she celebrated 50 years and she can't believe it. And then I had said that I was chatting with you and she's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen her in probably like 40 years. What a fine woman. Yeah, she had very nice things to say. And I just thought like, I don't know, it seemed so cool because for me, Dorothy was such a legend.
Yeah.
And I got to skate with her a lot when I was coming up because she was still performing. So I've known her, a long time. And I had the Dorothy Hamill haircut.
Did you? I had this long, straight, dark hair parted in the middle. And I was so jealous that she had this really cute little haircut. But I really admired her. And as I said, like I would have loved to have been a figure skater, but saying, it's just a little bit better at speed versus, grace.
Well, you also had the chance to then win 3 medals.
Right.
Sheila, when you won gold, silver, bronze in Innsbruck, did you know how historic that was at the time?
No, didn't matter. But I did get to, not a lot of people, I'm sure Dorothy got a call from President Ford congratulating. That was kind of a unique saying for any athlete. But what was I going to say though? There's something it was, Dorothy and I, so U.S. speed skating and figure skating in Milan, they're trying to get together so that I'm sure that if she's there, that we're going to get together. They're planning some kind of event with Dorothy and me and I don't know if Peter Miller, he was the other gold medalist back then. But we'll see. It's yet to come, I guess. They said, we'll fill you in on, what we're going to do and, when and what day or whatever. So hopefully I'll be able to see her then.
Oh, that would be so special.
Yeah.
Also to celebrate for you.
For both of us. Yeah, I know. 50 years. It's time. Lots happened in those 50 years.
How did people in the U.S. find out about your win?
Well, it was newspapers. It wasn't like, but I was really fortunate that my family was there. But I think we had like a Sheila Young Day in Detroit, which was for Detroit. That was a huge thing, a little parade and then a dinner or like a luncheon. That was really nice.
You went back and competed, had a family, but then you decided that you weren't going to chase fame.
No, it's not even chasing fame. It's just like with anything you do, you want to be the best that you can. And so after the 80 Olympics, and I did commentating for the 80 Olympics, which was fun, having Eric win 5 gold medals. So, but after seeing those athletes and being just jealous of how good a condition they were in, that I decided to try to get back into shape. And then you have to have goals. So my goal was, to be able to jog a mile. And then again, one thing led to another. And then pretty soon I was, I skated in world championships and got like 10th or something. But it wasn't like I wanted to win. It was just like having something to shoot for to make you feel healthier, better. And so like I think we've spoken before about how I'm competitive in everything that I do. I was like in my kids' elementary school, this guy came and talked and was talking about you parents and whatever. And how many of you think that you're like the best, like you're the best parent and whatever. I was the only one to raise my hand. I don't think I'm the best parent. I am the best that it can be, even with my faults. That's a good thing. But, whatever I did, like goal, I went to college after my career and after 2 kids. In fact, I was pregnant with my 3rd when I graduated from college. In fact, no, I had my 3rd the week before I graduated from college. But I was really competitive in all of those classes I took. And I think, probably you too, because you've been so successful in academics that, there's something I think that this is innate will to be the best you can be. Whether it's third place, that's the best, and or if it's a gold medal, that's woo.
What do your kids think about you thinking you're the best parent?
Oh, they laughed. When I told the kids I came home from the school, and I go, like, Hallie, my friend, she didn't even raise her hand. I said, that was the only one. They go, oh, Mom. Be that I am the best, I think. I've got, got the three best kids. My husband, Yoch and I, we've raised three wonderful people. I'm very proud.
Well, what is it like being an Olympic mom? I mean, so Ellie went 3 Olympics, which is incredible.
But, I don't know if your children will ever participate in figure skating, but it's really hard that she and Alex also, he competed in speed skating. But when your child does the sport that you do, it's really hard. It's hard not to want to coach them. Like I coached Ellie for a little, like when she was little. And then I had to hand her over to like some of her more qualified coach. But it's really hard because, you just want them to be successful. And I mean, when I watch her recently, like, just like, I wish you could just push them across the line a little bit. It was really hard. It was really hard watching your kids compete, but very proud. I mean, that they made it as far as they did. My son was in World Cup teams and Ellie made 3 Olympic teams. And, and I think what they got out of participating in those sports, I think was really good. And I think that they probably would have loved to won. I'm sure they would have loved to won medals or whatever in speed skating. But yeah, I think they're happy with how they did and the effort that they put into them.
I mean, your daughter could have been more enthusiastic about you, and I, told her that we were going to chat, or I asked her if you would be interested in chatting.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems so well adjusted. I mean, the whole Olympic, training and it's like just like all of its intense highs, lows, and just trying to stick with it. Wow, I was going to ask you about being a teacher, but and now I'm just like thinking about having, watching your own child compete in the Olympics. Were you nervous? Like, were you more nervous for her to compete than you remember being for yourself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But because yourself, like, my coach used to have pay now or pay later. It's either you train, you do this hard work. But when you get on that starting line, you know what you've done, the training, you don't even think about it. It just comes natural. But when it's somebody else that you can't, I mean, how hard they've trained and you just want something so badly for them. And nerves. I mean, she jumped the gun and that's the worst thing you can do in speed skating, because then the second time they give you a chance, you can go down and then you have to hesitate. You have to wait before the gun goes out. So I was so nervous, but I'm still really proud in the effort. And that's what you have to be, I think. And I think with my kids, whatever they do, they're really proud that they know they put in their best effort.
How different is the sport now than 50 years ago?
Whoa, a lot. Well, the uniforms are more like aerodynamic, but it's mainly the skates. The skates are the clap skates versus we had just stationary skates, like figure skates. Figure skates you could not hit clap skates for. But it helps them to go faster because then they could keep their blade on the ice longer, have to take fewer strokes. And now all of the main competitions are indoors. So you don't have to worry about the elements, ice conditions changing or wind or, those other variables.
And a lot more events.
Yeah. Yes. I think for women, they added a couple of other events, but the longer distance. So, I could never, I mean, the events that they have now are, more like the two, like the the team pursuit and more like like cycle, like, and you have you have the mass start race and and that's more like a bike race or something, or a pack sail speed skate. That's how all of us started off in pack sail speed skating, where it's just you with a group of kids on the like short track. And then, the guy goes off and the first one across the line. But yeah, I'm not really that happy. I mean, speed skating, I'm glad that they can do all those things, but to me, the Olympics has gotten so big and there's so many different events and so many different disciplines. I mean, I think it's not as intimidating as it used to be.
But you know what? Like, I was watching an event yesterday on YouTube, and it's like the skaters start, and then it's like they're all just hanging out. It's like a casual hangout.
Yes.
And like, how long is this casual hangout gonna last? It's like,
yeah.
Which is, I mean, it was kind of entertaining.
Yeah,
Because in my mind, I'm thinking like this was not short track, honestly.
no,
But I'm like, they're gonna start and go.
yeah, that's a points race, that mass start points race.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, that's the thing I think with speed skating, they've added these events to make it more entertaining. It's it's like, for me, the time trial, that's the most fair. I mean, because in the mastery. So, I mean, it is entertaining. People like to watch it, like you said, but there's like cat and mouse kind of things, or they have team tactics to, for person they want to win the event or whatever. But, yeah, I'm more of a purist. I like the time trials.
So then were you in 1998 with the clap skates? Were you part of, because there was a big controversy then about clap skates being allowed. Were you thinking like you should just stay with the skates that?
No. Any innovation like that, I think, is a good thing. It help you to go faster. I mean, that's the whole idea. So, that was going to help these skaters break world records and set personal goals. But no, I thought it was a good thing. Just like, I was one of the first people to wear a one-piece uniform. I mean, with that hood and the Lycra skin tight. Oh my gosh, we laughed about it, but like, we just thought it was like, wow, like, look at, compared to like the baggy uniforms that they used to wear. And then, and if it hadn't been for those, innovations and the design of the uniform back in my day, I might not have won the medal. Because there's like hundreds of a second. When I skated in 72, I think I had mittens on. I mean, it was like so not aerodynamic. That could have been my 8/100th of a second if I just had like no gloves, or if I had a faster uniform, not two-piece uniform. Anyway, but yeah. No, I think anything that they can do, and having a covered rink is another really great thing.
When you're talking about the mittens and yours, I guess it wasn't called a skin suit then, but I'm just like, I knew you would be thinking like that could have been the 8/100th of a second.
Yes, exactly. Go figure. But then, if I won the bronze medal, then I would quit speed skating and done other things or whatever. But that missing it by so close that. Yeah, was my incentive for continuing another 4 years.
What do you think you would have done if you won the bronze?
I would have, maybe gone to school a little earlier, gone to college or done, maybe I would have continued bike racing maybe, but I don't know. I hadn't really set any goals other than, I was so focused for so many years on speed skating and making that Olympic team that it was just such a letdown that, I don't know what I would have, just been satisfied with the bronze medal maybe.
When you decided to become a teacher, was that like a lifelong goal, or was it just something that you stumbled upon and liked?
Yeah, actually, this friend of mine, she said, you know what you should do? She said, you should be a PE teacher. She said, I substitute, and PE teachers, it's the best job. And I thought, you know what? I said, I love kids. I love teaching. I loved coaching when I did coaching for speed skating with little kids. And so I thought, yeah, okay. So that I had to, but this was like, I was old already. And so I had to go back to school. I mean, I had to go and finish, like I had only taken a couple of college courses. So I had to start basically from scratch. Yeah, I was pretty old. Well, like I said, when I graduated, I'd had my son 2 weeks before. And yeah, I think I was 38 then. So yeah, so I didn't start teaching until I was older, but I've graduated with honors. And I just really had the best time teaching. I wasn't sitting in an office and having to worry about working out afterwards. I was like running around, getting equipment, hauling stuff out, and helping kids to learn the different skills that they needed to. I started out teaching elementary school, and then my husband and I, we moved to California, and I taught at a middle school, and I taught the best teachers. They taught me, and but anyway, but teaching in a middle school, they told me, was like burning your wings to heaven. Oh, it was very challenging. Different clients, a little older, not all who wanted to be movers, but I tried making it fun, like, because it has to be something like, if you want to be active, you have to have it sort of innate, like the desire to move or to be engaged in a physical activity of any sort. I taught all kinds of things. Pickleball is a really big sport now. I used to teach 7th grade pickleball, but yeah. I mean, and in all of the videos that we showed were that I had to show them what pickleball was all about. These older people, and it's like this huge sport. But anyway, yeah. So getting back to yes, but teaching was it was really very rewarding for me.
How long did you teach for?
Well, I taught in California from whatever. I mean, I lived as my husband over 8 years. We moved there. We were there for about 16 years, about 15 years. I taught in California. And that was when I did my elementary school in Wisconsin, but then we moved to California. So then, yeah, it was really a great experience. When you can see a child learning a skill that, like even like basic things like, I'm a terrible ball thrower, but I mean, you can teach the skill. Like I could, what do they say? I can teach. You teach. If you can't do, you teach or whatever. But I was really happy when I could see kids improving or having fun, just going out and having fun during the different activities we have.
What are the keys on your necklace?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's actually 3, one for each one of my kids. It's like there's gold, there's silver, and then there's a bronze. Is that really? But it's like, okay, but these stand for each one of my kids. So my kids, if I did win 3 medals, I'd be in trouble. Because I'm leaving my gold medal to my firstborn. She is the winner. And then second goes to Ellie, and then my third one goes to Alex. But I wear these are the key to my heart, my kids. But and that's why I got 3 of them.
Do they know which medals are being left to them?
Oh yeah.
How do they feel about getting different colors?
Oh, I think they're happy.
Or different medals,
Yeah, I think they're happy to get anything, I think it's just when I can go and they get the medals, they're going to be sad, I hope. But happy that they have something that they could, remember me by.
I mean, your kids must be pretty good sports if they have a good sense of humor.
Oh, they do. They really do. I mean, we joke about it all the time for hours.
Do you think about, like, looking back on 50 years, you must think about, like, all the things that you've done and you really take a moment to have some perspective?
Every once in a while, like, especially when I'm, like, we had friends over last weekend and they wanted to see my medals and stuff and, talk about it. And, reliving kind of that experience with them or sharing that experience with them, maybe they, like, they're going like, oh, wow, did you say that? So they get, yeah, I do, like, pat myself on the back. But I don't look back as much as I'm looking forward. I've been looking forward to things that that I can do or still can do or want to do. like this summer, my husband and I went to France, and I don't know if you ever watched the Tour de France, but they got this one horrendous climb called Mont Ventoux. And my goal this summer when we were cycling or whatever was to climb Mont Ventoux. And even though I had an e-bike, it was a 3-hour challenge to get up to the top. But it was just, you have to set goals for yourself. And that was my goal for the summer, was to be able to climb through too. So I still have other, goals. I mean, I'm looking forward to, my sister and I are going to New York. And I mean, I like to stay active. I rode my bike before this podcast. I rode my bike and watched the Vuelta, the Tour of Spain. And so I'm riding my bike as I'm watching so you have to have things that you can look forward to and remember the past, but not live in the past.
When you go to Milan and you're with U.S. speed skating, do you have a lot of ideas on what they can do to make the sport better?
I've already tried that. I've tried it. I've written rule changes or things that they didn't really want to do at the time. So, but no, I'm going to Milan to share. Like, hopefully my roommate from 72, Connie Carpenter Finney, hopefully she's going to be there. And seeing Dorothy, seeing all these people and just getting together, there's something about the Olympics, that's, it's so exciting, and you just get goosebumps to go. Watching the competitors, because you know what they've put into it, and watching the competition and just sharing experiences with the old fogies, and it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. I'm just really looking forward to it.
And the Olympics are amazing. I mean, watching the athletes and hearing their stories and meeting them is incredible.
Yeah,
and there was so much enthusiasm. I mean, you have a lot of energy and enthusiasm today. So, this is a lot of fun. So I like to ask at the end, like this game is called Torch or Tin. So torches is something you think is awesome. And if it's like not awesome, then it's a tin. We touched on a few of them.
Torch is awesome. Tin is not so good.
Tin is just like not awesome.
Okay.
So torch or tin. Training outdoors on natural ice.
Torture.
No, not torture. Torch is good.
Not torch. It's not a torch. This is the tin. Tin.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay.
It was a torture just because it's like if you have to deal with too much unexpected that you don't get the same amount you don't get what you can out of the training session.
Training. Let me just tell you about some of those tin moments. West Dallas, Wisconsin. They have the only oval here in the United States. There was train tracks. There was a cement factory. And you go out there in umpteen degrees below zero, do your, training, come back in and warm up, go back out. And so it wasn't just the wind, the cold. It was the cement factory. It was the highway. I mean, it was so hard some days. I mean,
And this was the only Olympic oval in the country.
At the time, yes. In Detroit, we had an artificial rink, but the only 400-meter artificial rink that they had in the United States was in West Dallas, Wisconsin, and it's still there, but it's now covered. And in fact, they couldn't even be skating on it now. I mean, they can keep ice all year round if they wanted to, which is so nice. That would definitely be a torch. There.
The skin suit.
Oh. You know what? I'd have to say torch on that one. Because I got this great picture of my friend Lori and I, and we're in our one pieces and we're like flexing our quad. And we're on our skates, we're flexing our quads. It really showed off like the muscle. So I could never wear one right now. But back then, I think we were really so proud of our muscles, and having those skin tight uniforms, really accentuated, the definition even.
What did you train in? Would you train like leggings or pants?
No, it's regular, like a little bit heavier material. And yeah, if it was cold, then we'd have warm up pants that and then if you were doing something fast, you take your warm ups off. But when you had it spoiled, they'll be indoors all the time. Imagine, have you ever skated till they had to perform outdoors?
Yeah, I used to perform outdoors for shows. Socks under your skates.
Oh, I never wore socks. I went barefoot. And yeah, so if I had socks on, that would be bad. That would be a 10 for me. So I quote was something like, I like to have a good rapport with my skates. So you could feel the skate and it was just an attachment to your body. Yeah, no socks. Tin on the side.
The mass start event.
I think it's fun and entertaining. So I'd say a torch. I used to like doing it when I was younger, I used to really like the mass start, but, yeah. So I could still say, yeah, it's still entertaining to watch.
Because the camaraderie.
Camaraderie?
Or like, well, you're telling with teammates.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I was watching there was a Youth Olympics last year where one of the skaters' strategy was you watched it.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
yeah. And that's the thing too. I mean, that's what's fun about that event but not in the Olympics. I think everybody's pretty much out for themselves. I see an opportunity. I'm going to be going for this. But I think like back when I did compete in mass start race, yeah, I would have like my friends who were like, we would plan like, okay, you do this and I'll take up here, for the longer races, you can kind of, have some strategy. But, so in the Olympics, I don't think maybe there's some tactics in there, but I think it's every man on himself.
Before we wrap up, what events are you most looking forward to seeing in Milan?
Oh, of course, the 500 meters. And I think I like watching the men too. So I think the men's 500 meters and my 500 meters. I don't know if I have tickets to any of the other events. I know I have tickets to the men's 500 and the men's 1,000, but I don't know that I have tickets to mine. But for sure, I think, I really like watching the men's skate too. So I think between mine, although I'll be a little bit jealous, but you know what I mean? Like, a little, like I remember that. But I remember 50 years ago when I was doing that, but the times are so much faster now. And it's really, it's still amazing to watch. I think the grace and although we did sprinting in the 500 meters, it's pretty much like what my medal says. It's German says Eisschnelllauf, which is running on ice, and basically like just running as fast as you can for 100 meters, and then you can get into the cruising. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to those events.
Just going back to competing outside. I mean, Eric Heiden won his gold medals all outside.
Yes, yeah, in Lake Placid. And it wasn't all the best weather either, but he's amazing. He's still amazing too. He's an orthopedic surgeon now, and he lives in Park City. I see him quite often, and he's it was fun with I commentated with Keith Jackson, and you just thinking like this guy is like unbelievable. People still ask me, like, are his thighs still that? Are they really that big? Yeah. Great guy, great athlete. It's amazing.
Well, he's been one of the team doctors for the Team USA speed skating.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he will be in Milan, but like I've seen him at an Olympics as part of the team.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to be part of the team. I'm hoping he's going to be going there. Yeah, it'll be fun. He was only 16, I think, in 76.
Yeah.
How the time has flown.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining and being such a good sport about.
Shoot, trying to get this all coordinated. Yeah, I'm a little more technical now, I said.
I mean, your grandkids, I'm sure, video chat with you.
Yeah. Don't get me started to talk about my grandkids.
Okay.
It's a whole nother podcast. It was great talking to you, Sarah.
Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and join us on this journey. And remember, behind every gold medal is a story worth telling.